رحمة الله الواسعة يا باب النجاة الأمة يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فلنفوز فوزا عظيما. It's related from Sa'ad ibn Abdullah al-Kummi that he said, I asked Imam Mahdi Aj'Allah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif on the inner meaning of the ayat of Quran, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. Imam said, these letters are the letters of the unseen. It is from what Allah has taught his slave Zakaria and then to his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. The reason he taught it was that Zakaria asked his Lord to teach him about the name of the five. So Allah sent Jibra'il to teach him. When Zakaria would make mention of Muhammad, Ali, Fatima, and Hassan, he would feel joy. He would feel that all of his problems would be solved. But when he would make mention of Imam Hussein, he would be choked with tears. He would be struck with sorrow. One day he asked his Lord, Ya Rab, why is it that when I remember the first four, my problems would fade away, but when I remember Imam Hussein, my eyes would involuntarily shed tears. My breathing becomes heavy, like something struck my heart. Allah told him the story of Imam Hussein, and he said, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad. The first letter refers to Karbala, the second to Halak, to destruction of the household. The third letter is for Yazid, the oppressor of Hussein. The fourth letter, Ain, is for Atash. The fifth letter is for Sabr, this patience. When Zakaria heard this revelation from Allah, he didn't leave the masjid for 3 days. He prevented anyone from coming into the masjid to visit him. He kept crying and wailing and moaning in these 3 days. He would say, O Allah, will this nation be afflicted in sorrow after his passing? Will his affliction be sent down after this calamity? Will Ali and Fatima wear the attire of grief after this tragedy? Will this sorrow ever settle for them? Ya Allah, grant me a son that he will bring joy to my heart. And when I become old and if you grant me a son, place his love in my heart. Then Ya Allah, afflict me with distress in him the same way that you did for Muhammad, your most favorite creation, and his son Hussein. Imam Rida alayhi salam said, whoever remembers the tragedies that befell us and weeps on us will be in the same rank as us on the day of judgment. Whoever recalls our tragedies and cries and makes others cry, he will not cry on the day the eyes will be tearful. Whoever participates in a gathering whereby our remembrance is revived, his heart will not die on the day that the hearts will die. Ali ibn Ibrahim narrates from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, whoever remembers us or makes others remember us, and thereby sheds a tear, even if it is the size of the wing of a mosquito, Allah will forgive him and all his sins, even though it may be as much as the foam on the seas. Shaykh al-Saduq in his Amali, he says, on the authority of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, whoever sheds a tear out of grief for our blood that was spilled, or for our rights that were taken, or for our sanctity that was violated, or for any one of our Shia, then Allah will reserve for him a seat in Jannah for all eternity. Imam Bakr alayhi salam said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi once looked at Imam Hussein alayhi salam while he was in front of him. He sat him on his lap. He said, verily for the martyrdom of Hussein there is a heat in the hearts of the believers that will never be extinguished. Another time he said about Abu Abdullah, no believer remembers him except that he cries for him. Imam Bakr alayhi salam said, the mankind, birds, beasts, all shed tears for the martyrdom of Imam Hussein. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, verily when Abu Abdullah Hussein ibn Ali died, the 7 heavens and the 7 earths, everything within them, everything between them, everything that goes around them, Jannah, Jahannam, everything that our Lord has created, from the things that you can see and from those that you cannot see, they all cried over Abu Abdullah, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. None among the believers weeps for us and for what befell us, but that Allah grants mercy on him even before the tears start to flow from his eyes. It is so rewarding that if a drop of a tear fell down from his cheek into the hellfire, Allah would extinguish the heat of the hellfire completely. In Dua Nutbah, we read that Imam Mahdi Ajallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif said, it is upon the most purified of the purified from the progeny of Muhammad and Ali alayhim as-salam that people should cry, and for them they should mourn. Upon them should the mourners shriek and clamor out of grief and anguish. Is there any distressed one who I can share my anguish with when he is alone? Is there any eye weeping of a thorn such that my eye may sympathize with it? We come to the day of Ashura and we remember Abu Abdullah Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Today Abu Abdullah is all alone. He had no choice but to fight the enemy. He is described as someone who said that he had lost all hope of living in this life. Imam Hussein alayhi salam went and attacked the right flank of the army. He said, death is better than being humiliated, and being humiliated is better than entering the hellfire. He attacked the left side of the army while saying, I am Hussein, son of Ali. I promise not to bow down. I am defending my family. I follow the religion of Rasulullah. Abdullah ibn Ammar says, I have never seen a bereaved and grief-stricken man who has witnessed the murder of all of his children, all of his companions, bearing the sorrow of all of the calamities, yet he is more steadfast, brave, and courageous than Hussein. So much so that no one dared to stand in the way of Hussein. Imam Hussein alayhi salam challenged the enemy to come and fight with him. Whoever came forward to confront Imam Hussein was sent to Jahannam by the sword of Abu Abdullah. Many were left dead, so Umar ibn Sa'ad rallied his troops. He said, attack him from all directions. Ihmalu alayhi min kulli janib. Thousands of enemy troops launched a collective attack on Abu Abdullah. He responded to all of them so they would run away from him. Having failed, the enemy decided to take another strategy. The archers shot arrows at Abu Abdullah. Not a few arrows, the narrations say they shot 4,000 arrows towards him. He was prevented from reaching his women and children. Hussein shouted, woe unto you, O followers of the family of Abu Sufyan. If you have no religion and don't fear the akhirah, at least be free and noble in your world. If you are Arabs, then return to your race. Shimr yelled, O son of Fatima, what are you saying? Hussein said, I say I am fighting you and you are fighting me. It is no fault of the women and the children. So till I am alive, keep your people away from my family. This is the family of Rasulullah. Shimr said, we will give you that. They focused their attack on Hussein. He returned to his camp one last time. He called out, Ya Sukayna, Ya Rubab, Ya Zainab, Hada Akhrul Wada. This is my last farewell to you. The women gathered around him, started wailing, started sobbing, Wa Wayla, Wa Husayna, Wa Ghariba, Wa Madluma. He said, we will meet you in paradise. Be patient after my death. You have many tragedies awaiting you. Then he asked for his horse. Zainab brought him his horse. As he was getting on his horse, he was about to leave. He heard a faint voice calling from behind him. Mahlan, mahla, ya ibn Zahra. Slow down, O son of Zahra. He looked back, he saw his sister Sayyida Zainab. She asked Imam Hussein to get down from his horse. She needs to do something. Zainab embraced her brother. She kissed the throat of Abu Abdullah. She kissed his chest. She said, Mother, I did as you told me to do. I fulfilled your request as you were on your deathbed. The Imam proceeded to the battlefield. When he was going, Ruqayya came to him. Imagine this young daughter of Abu Abdullah, never to see her father again, seeing him going into the battlefield. Baba, are you going to leave me now? Maybe I never see you again. Imam Hussein said, if I don't go, they will destroy the religion of your grandfather. They hugged one last time. Abu Abdullah went to the battlefield, confronted an army of 30,000 soldiers. He looked right, he looked left, searching for helpers, only to find his companions slain on the ground in Karbala. He called out, O heroes of the battlefield, O knights of warfare, I call to you, but you don't answer me. If you're asleep, I ask you, please wake up. These are the women of Rasulullah. They have been bereaved of your loss. Please rise and protect the household of Rasulullah. Alas, death has prevailed over you, or you would have came to support me. He called out their names, Ya Habib, Ya Muslim ibn Awsaja, Ya Zuhair, Ya Jaun. When the children and the woman heard this, they wailed and they cried. He repeated his plea, is there not a protector who can defend the sanctity of Rasulullah? Is there not a believer who may fear Allah on what is befalling us? Hal min nasirin yansurna. The women were crying, Wa wayla, Wa wayla. Hussein's eldest son, Imam Sajjad, he was ill, but he saw his father covered in blood of Abbas, the blood of Qasim, Zuhair and Habib. He stood up while leaning on a stick. He was dragging his sword. He shouted, Ya Zainab, take him back, lest the earth be devoid of the progeny of Muhammad. Imam Sajjad said, how can I not go when my father is all alone? My father is Gharib. Then the Imam came and challenged the enemy to come fight with him. Shimr ordered the army to target him all together. A fierce fighting raged in the battle of Karbala. Since he was very thirsty, he attacked the flank of the army that was closing off the Farat. He managed to disperse them and he made his way to the river. Once in the water, he extended his hand to drink, and a caller shouted, do you enjoy drinking water when the sanctity of your family is violated? He let the water spill from his hands. He returned to the tents. Hussein turned to his daughter Sukaina, who was sitting in a corner of one tent crying and wailing. He stood by her, showing her sympathy in these last moments. He said, don't worry, your sorrow will last long after my death. Don't add anguish to my heart by crying now that I am alive. But when I am killed, Ya Sukaina, feel free to cry forever. Omar ibn Sa'ad yelled, woe to you, attack him while he is busy with his family. They charged at Abu Abdullah, raining arrows down on him. Imam Hussein attacked the enemy like a lion. He received wounds all over his body, mostly because of the arrows. He returned to his position, repeating the saying, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. He asked for water. Shimr said, you're not going to taste the water until you enter the hellfire. Ya Allah. Another one called out to him, Ya Hussein, can you not see the river of the Farad flowing, moving like the belly of a snake? You are not going to drink of this water till you die of thirst. As he was weakened, he paused to rest for a moment. As our Imam was resting, weakened by the thirst, all of the wounds, all of the grief, Suddenly a tyrant named Abu al-Hutuf, he threw a rock at Abu Abdullah. He hit the head of Imam Hussein. He caused blood to flow down the blessed face of Abu Abdullah. He grabbed his shirt to wipe the blood from his face. Harmala was watching. Sa'adallah qalbik ya sahib al-zaman. Harmala shot Abu Abdullah with a three-pronged arrow. It struck Abu Abdullah in his chest. He cried out, Bismillah wa billah wa ala malati Rasulillah. He raised his head toward the sky. He said, Oh Allah, you know full well that they are killing a man, that there is no other on the face of the earth like him. A son of the daughter of your prophet, save him. He pulled out the arrow, the blood gushed out of his chest. He took a handful of blood and stained his beard, saying, This is how I will meet my grandfather Rasulullah. Due to the constant attacks, our master, our Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he fell on the ground from the back of his horse without lifting his head. A man then approached him. He began cursing Imam Hussein. Then he struck him with the sword on his head. The helmet was drenched with blood. Imam Hussein took it off and he wrapped his turban on the cap, and he said, May Allah deprive you of eating with your right hand and gather you on the day of judgment with the oppressors. Our Imam is now covered with his own blood. Abdullah, the son of Imam Hassan, an 11-year-old boy, he saw his uncle surrounded by the enemies. He managed to release his hand from his mother's grip. He ran to the pit that Imam Hussein was lying in. He sat on the Imam's lap. He was looking left and right when an enemy approached, lifting his sword to kill Abu Abdullah. Abdullah ibn Hassan called out, O son of the wicked woman, you want to kill my uncle? The boy shielded Imam Hussein with his arm. From the stroke of the sword, where his hand was cut, his arm was dangling. He looked at the Imam and he said, Uncle, they severed my right hand. Amma kad kata'u yamini. The Imam told Abdullah, be patient, you will soon join your father, Imam Hassan. Harmala then shot an arrow at him, killing this young boy while he was in the lap of his uncle, Abu Abdullah. Imam Hussein now is fatally wounded. He was left lying on the ground for some time. What prevented them from finishing him off sooner was the fact that every tribe was relying on the other tribe to do it. They didn't want to be the one known for killing Imam Hussein. Shimr yelled out, Why are you standing like this? This man is wounded. Attack him from every angle. They came and they attacked him with arrows, with swords, with spears. They threw rocks at Abu Abdullah. One man says, I was standing near Hussein. He was on the brink of dying. Wallahi, I never saw a person getting killed, soaked in his own blood, in a better state than Hussein. His face was full of nur. I was so overwhelmed by the nur on the face of Hussein that I refrained from contemplating killing him. He asked for water, but they didn't give him anything to drink. One said, I came to kill him. He looked me in the eyes. Hussein looked him in the eyes. He said his eyes looked like the eyes of Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. The Imam then said to them, By my grandfather, I am thirsty. Wahakab jaddi anna adshan. One from amongst the crowd said to him, You're not going to drink until you enter the hellfire, then you can drink boiling water. This is how they treated the grandson of Rasulullah. The Imam said, I will enter upon my grandfather Rasulullah. I will stay with him. I will receive water from the pond of Kawthar. I will complain to my grandfather what you did to me and your transgression against me. They became furious at this. Allah didn't put one grain of mercy in their heart. They didn't have anything. They were like beasts. Now Umar ibn Sa'd with a group of his soldiers is approaching the scene as Imam Hussein was on the brink of death. أَذَمَ اللَّهُ أُجُورَكُمْ يَا مُؤْمِنُونَ فَحَمَلُوا عَلَيْهِ مِنْ كُلِّ جَانِبٍ. 30,000 people have descended upon the son of Zahra to kill him. They came with swords and arrows and spears and rocks. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he said, كانت والله دربة فوق دربة وطعنة فوق طعنة. Every stab came upon another stab. Every strike landed on another strike. One person came and hit Abu Abdullah on his left shoulder. Another shot him in the mouth. Another man hit him on his right shoulder. Sinan ibn Anas lodged a spear in the collarbone of Abu Abdullah, then placed another in his chest. Then they shot him with an arrow in his throat. Ya Abu Abdullah. Another stabbed Imam Hussein in the neck. Zainab shouted at Umar ibn Sa'd, Ya Umar, Abu Abdullah is being killed while you are watching. Umar ibn Sa'd turned his face away. Zainab, the daughter of Ali and Zahra, climbed upon a cliff to see her brother. She put her hands on her head. She said, Layta sama atbaqad ala al-ard. I wish the sky falls down on us. Layta al-mawta adamani al-haya. I wish that death would bury me. She said, Waylakum amma fikum Muslim. Woe to you, or any of you even Muslim. Nobody replied. At that point, Ibn Sa'd ordered the crowd, descend upon him and kill him. What are you waiting for? Shimr initiated the attack. He came to Abu Abdullah. He kicked the grandson of Rasulullah. He sat on the chest of Abu Abdullah. He grabbed the beard of Imam Hussein. He pulled out his dagger. The unthinkable has happened. Wa wayla wa musibata wa Husayna wa madluma. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون يا حسين يا أبا عبد الله